Yeah, thank you. Minister, I genuinely believe that there were many families out there who were expecting something different, who were expecting a break. They're the same families who borne the brunt of the last 6 austerity budgets and were hoping that maybe the government could put more money back in their pockets. The government would give them a break to enable them to pay their mortgages, to pay the bills and to provide for their children. And unfortunately, for the vast majority of those families, not only have they not been given a break, and not only has money not been put back in their pockets, but the government has taken money out of their pockets. It doesn't matter how many times senators from any party in this House, Labour Party or Fine Gael, say that this budget was good and that this budget was great. The reality, of course, is something different, because the devil is always in the detail. So let's look at what was good and what was great in this budget according to Labour senators. We have an increase in prescription charges up from 150 to 250. Is that good and great? We have the telephone allowance for elderly people abolished. Is that good and great? The bereavement grant has been abolished.
Incorporate into other schemes?
I didn't interrupt any senator here, and again Senator Gilroy continues to act like a jack in the box every time somebody stands up. He's not prepared to listen. And he should sit there and listen to the truth. Listen to what was in the budget. Listen to what was in the budget. Drugs initiative funding cut by 7%. Again, we had the same heckling from Labour TDs in the Dáil. Are they not prepared to listen to people? Can they not just sit there and show some respect to speakers? Do they have to continue to interrupt? I know you're on the floor. I know this is a tough budget. Again, you've sold out to Fine Gael. But please listen and not have to continue to interrupt every time somebody gets to their feet. Job seekers benefit cut for the under-24s. Is that good and great? How is that going to be good for those young people? What hope is there for those people who have had their benefits cut? Could any of the senators, and maybe the minister, might explain to me the logic in that, Minister? What was the logic of targeting those young people and cutting their dole? When Fianna Fáil cut it, you opposed it. Labour Party and Fine Gael, you opposed it. The only logic that I can conclude from that cut is that you want to force more young people to emigrate. That's the only logic I can take from it. Or you see them as people maybe who won't fight back, who won't stand up for themselves. But maybe you might explain the logic to me, because I simply can't see it. I don't believe, Minister, that this budget is fair. The independent analysis done by a range of organisations and agencies in relation to the previous two budgets by your government showed that they were the most unequal, even more unequal than the Fianna Fáil Green Party and Fianna Fáil PD budgets which went before you. You have not stood by working people today. You have not stood by young people. You have not given people hope. There is nothing in this to tell people that this government is serious about job creation, this government is serious about reducing unemployment, about reducing immigration. All I can see in this budget is more pain for people at the bottom. And this is the final thing I will say. Not one extra cent in income tax for anybody who earns over 100,000 or 200,000 or 300,000. But yet, if you happen to be an older person depending on the household benefit package, your telephone allowance is cut. And if you happen to be a young person, your dole is cut. But somebody who earns €200,000 a year is sitting there pretty without a single cut. And you, over on that side, can stand over that. It is shameful that, again, you've missed the opportunity to put a fair budget in place.
Thank you.